Yo, what's up, guys? Back again for part 2 of Fix the XRT. So, last time we left off, found out that I had this problem with the center diff. So I went to the RC store, or rather I went and saw my buddies up in Tacoma. I got me parts I needed, parts I don't need. I got me some Dumont paddle tires for another one of my cars. I got a motor and ESC for that one there. I don't know if that's in frame or not, but I got a Techno 410 2.0, and yeah, man. I'm gonna build another one, and yeah, y'all will get to see it when I get to that point. But other than that, yeah, I got some parts for the XRT here so I can fix it and get it running again for my entertaining weekend. Well, it's not gonna be all weekend, but oh, I did not need to change that. That's the right one. Yeah, so I'm gonna go see a couple of my friends this weekend, and yeah, I kind of want to have my XRT running so that they can see. So it shouldn't be too terribly bad. I think it was about 40 minutes to get it all apart because it's been just long enough since last time I blew anything in here. I do not have a steel replacement as of yet. It is in the mail. So it'll get here when it gets here. Yep, not really happy that this part ended up getting ruined. I got a hardened steel part, and it ended up getting ruined because of a smaller part exploding. So yeah, sometimes it's better just to use cheap parts. Just come on now. Do I need the thing off here? What is holding it on? Hammer time. Did I break the seal? I think I did. Sometimes it needs a little tappy. A little tap tap around. Alright. There we go. Yay. And there it is. Take that seal, put it back into place. The fluid in here looks just fine. And yep, I do need to pull that tiny little O-ring out. It's actually not an O-ring at all. It is a shouldered, hell if I remember. But it's actually what makes this seal work. Or rather, it's really like a big component to have this in here. Alright. So I think that was it. Yep, too easy. It's really a quick repair once you have the part. So I got a spare for next time if that happens, and I got a steel one. I do believe I've said that it's on its way. Bearings. Set those aside for later. Did I get checked? Oh. Yeah, this thing really did take a beating. It's got a bearing on it too. Okay. Push that back in. This should slide back down. Which it's being difficult, and I'm not entirely sure why. Oh, that would be why. It's misaligned. Imagine that. And I know how to fix that. Means getting out a different wrench because I can't install it back in there now. Yeah, and I do need to clean that out much more. I just left it because I knew I was going to be back in here. And here I am. Back again with another video. Alright, shop towel, poker, and now we do some cleaning real quick. Oh, excuse me. Yep, have me a Wendy's Baconator today. Felt like a big, fat, greasy hamburger. And that's what I had. Alright, so, if y'all didn't know, a magnet is really handy for when you're doing a cleanup after a bearing explosion. Or whenever you're inside of these internals, it's really a good idea to take a strong magnet and run it all over to pick up any foreign objects. So I've cleaned this. I've now pulled out two, I don't know, I'll call it wipes. I had to wipe my magnet twice now because of what I pulled out of here. And that's just in this video. I pulled out, I think, every single tiny little ball bearing from the exploded bearing out. Yep, I just picked all that stuff up and it fell right on the front of me. That's alright. Okay. I'll take that. That's good enough. Yep, just like that, we got magic happening. And clean this bearing and check this bad boy right before I put it back in there. And it feels good. Yeah. It seems to be like the farther away you get away from this one point that failed, the better off you are. Yeah, it still feels really good. Oh, that's right, I don't need to put that on yet. This. And this. And this is where it's going to go back together real quick, because I didn't have to pull that much of it apart. Okay. But I am going to have to be careful about how I go back about it, because I am adding in new parts along the way. I don't know if I want to use the aluminum one yet. That's rude. Yeah, exploding bearings, exploding bearings. Yep, there's the other one that got tore up. Yep, not cheap to replace that. I gotta go with the other side. Yeah. That thing is done. Yep. GPM replacement though. There's a reason I use good parts. Give me a bearing, give me a bearing. Bearings, nowhere to be seen. And I know I got them. Oh, where are they? Come on, guys. Oh, that's why I can't find them in that box, because they're not in that box. Yep, they are. They are not in this castle. They are in another castle. In another box. They're sitting up. If it had been a snake, it would have bit me. That's not the right wrench. That is. Everything's like 2.5. On the XRT. Like, there's a few things that are 2. And a couple of things that are 1.5, but yeah, an XRT and an X-Max both are pretty much a 2.5, right? The blue one for most of it. Side has a sleeve on it. Oh, I do have to take it on that side. That's all right. Yeah, this bearing like about done too. Yep, I don't feel like having another one of these bearings go out on me. So it will be replaced. And it's giving me difficulties right now. There we go. Ball rights is probably fine if I were to like juice it up again, but I don't want to put a worn bearing back in. Okay. Not too easy of a repair. Yeah, worst thing about it is making sure you have the parts. One more bearing. And the belts. Not quite yet. I need to tighten this back up. That should be sufficient. Get the belt down. All right. That. And we got two in the back. And let's see here, we got this one and this one. Go on the underside. These are really some of the kind of important is it that one? Yeah, it is. Yeah, these two screws, this long one and then this regular one with the washer on it. Yeah, kind of a big deal for doing your conversion to using a bigger motor, like making the 12S and either using a belt drive or gears. You still have to use a larger motor mount to account for it. So yeah, the placement of these two, kind of a big deal. Come on, don't tell me I just lost that one screw. Oh no, it's right there. Okay. All right. Yep. So, Chris Olson, PNW RC Madness, right? Pacific Northwest RC Madness, right? That's his channel and his website, I do believe. And yeah, if you need any information on how a belt drive is supposed to go, look him up. And that's where I got my information, right? I didn't have to do a whole lot because I already have a whole lot of mechanical knowledge run around in my dome. So I only had to make a very brief contact with him because I already understood by what his website told me, you know? I did my research ahead of time. You know, and yeah, Chris is really cool. He took my call. I was almost shocked because the way people are this day and age. Yeah. So he took my call. I think we talked for like maybe 10 minutes. It's pretty short. Yeah, I asked him. I said, "Hey, man, I'm doing a belt drive, and I'm interested in knowing what the gig is." And he told me. And then I went and sourced out my parts, and away I was going, you know. And that was more than a year ago. That was when I first got into RC, and I still have it. I'm still running this RC. I don't know how many times I fixed it, but, you know, I also couldn't tell you how many times I drove it and had a big fat smile on my face while I was doing it too. So, there you go. So, there's one thing that Chris really doesn't touch on. Well, actually, he does, so I guess I don't need to say that. So, something that I do different than Chris does is I use these 20 millimeter 7 mil hex offsets as my nuts for tightening down the this plate that I'm currently tightening down. Right, it covers up all the goodies. So anyways, he's the guy that you need to talk to, right? He's got like five messenger channels related to RC. So yeah, the guy's available, and he's got like different things set up. All you gotta do is just ask. Yep, that is it. Ask the man. Okay, put that back on. Yep, replace this, replace that. Hey, I wanted to upgrade this, so I did. You know, I wanted aluminum steering turnbuckles for the front. I got it because I didn't like that I couldn't adjust my steering. And ever since I put those in, I've not had a problem. You know, another fine degree of adjustability that is optional, because you don't really need it. You know, you don't. We're talking about like a real subtle amount of adjustment that you're able to make. Okay, pins. Shit. Is it the short ones that are on the bottom and the long ones that are on top? I think that might be what it is. I may be mistaken. It might be the long ones that go on the bottom and the short ones that go on the top. I never remember. I don't really try to remember either. Worst case, I look it up, or I just have to take it apart again. So, yeah, it would be the long ones, which are what goes on the short. And, yeah, missed the dog bone going in there, so I got to pull it apart anyways. Yeah, this is what happens when you leave things dangling. It's like you have to account for everything that's dangling while you're putting it back together, you know. This is why the shop time says, you know, 8 hours for a job, and then the mechanic can do it in, you know, like 2 hours. It's because he's skipping steps, you know. And in some sense, you can get away with that in a mechanic, by being a mechanic. In some sense, you can skip steps in a roundabout way. Do I recommend it? Absolutely freaking not. You should never skip steps, especially if it is a process that has been identified to have no bit of deviancy from it. You know, like a formula. You know, just fucking, oh, I'm going to use something entirely different because the recipe calls for this and I have this instead. Well, with a formula and chemistry, you should not deviate with certain things, you know. And other things, sure. If we're talking like food type chemistry, yeah, you can make substitutions. You know, cook's usually not happy about it, but yeah, you can make substitutions. And the food may be better or worse depending on who you are. Okay. And of course, I put them pins in too early. Oh, yep, order of operation, Dan. Order of operation. Okay, no, can't do that either, Dan. Can't do it that way. You got to do it all over again because there's an order of operation. Well, yes and no. It's more like however it gets back together is that's how that worked. Sometimes it's fixed and other times not so much. Okay, I'm getting somewhere. Okay, starting to get somewhere. I'll be happy when this is back together. This is one of my most favorite trucks because it is one of my largest trucks, if not my largest truck. And it was one of the first cars I did a really large modification to, which is that belt drive. And, you know, motor was one thing, but doing the belt drive along with it, whole different story. And all the other things that I end up breaking along the way, like, yeah, this car is one of my favorites because of it, you know? I probably drive it the most out of all my cars. It's fairly quick to set up and get running, and it brings big smiles to my face every time. Yeah, I get 3-wheel motion, and I'm not even into like not even half of my throttle, and I got 3-wheel motion out of it. If I'm easing onto it, if I keep everything kind of reasonable for the first quarter throttle, and then I get into it gradually, you know, it's like ease in from nothing to like a quarter throttle, and then you continue gradually squeezing it, you can get 60 miles an hour out of this thing or more. I haven't bothered to clock it, but the last time I did, it was like 55, and that was before I did any changes to it. So I've done a lot of changes since then, so it's probably different now. I don't know if it's faster or slower, but this is a better built truck. Okay, adjust the belt tension here. That's a notorious thing for this happening to this thing too, is the belt gets loose just because it heats up and it stretches, right? And it's because of friction, plain and simple. Yep. I'll turn this thing on here in a minute. Just to see it go here on the bench, because I try to bench test everything before I take it outside. Because even if I bench test it, it still might not run once I get it outside. It's just like one more little thing that I can do before I actually go have it hit the street. Okay, that's probably about as good as it's gonna get without having to pull out a 3mm Allen key. So yeah, the end brace, I'm not really worried about it being super tight. It's the side ones that matter. Like, don't get me wrong, they all matter. Every one of them does. Yeah, once I crank down on the inside, or on the ones that are on the belt side of it, I don't sweat nothing after that, you know. I make sure to tighten up everything, but yeah. So I'm pretty close. What, I got the wing and the bottom to put back on, and that should be it. So I will flip this over and put the bottom on, and yeah, it's pretty much down to the bottom boring stuff now there, fellas. So if y'all are still here, I appreciate you. You know, most of my content's I would think it's fairly dry. You know, you gotta love RC cars to really want to watch my stuff. That's why I try to talk a little bit so that y'all gonna get something rather than nothing out of my video. You know, try to talk a little bit, give you a little information, tell you what I'm using while I'm doing it, stuff like that. I didn't put that little felt thing back into place. Oh well. It's not the end of the world. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it's an important piece, but it's not like it's gonna make the car do any less of performance. It's a creature comfort and keeps dust out. But like I said before, it's important. I'm not trying to justify my actions. It's more like I'm not worried about it because I'm going to have this open to put a steel part in a few days anyway. So I'm going to end up fixing it again. The only reason I put this monkey metal part in is because I'm going to use my XRT this weekend no matter what. No matter what. Did I lose another one? Where'd that go? Hell, did I lose that too? Maybe so. Oh, there it is. What? Man, I'm losing screws, and I really tried to be careful with not losing any. Okay. Okay. I got a few more screws here. Need to go in, and I think that's it. Like, seriously. I need to go get some batteries so I can turn it on, but I don't know if I want to turn it on or not. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, probably going to skip turning it on because I already know it works. But I still need to find 2 screws that happen to be missing. I must have dropped them because it's out of parts that I set over off to the side. Yep. Okay, folks. How is it that I still have 3 screws left? This bothers me. Well, I know where those 2 go. But I still got 3 other ones that I gotta figure out where they go, and I'm missing 2. So I guess I have like 1 that I don't know where it is, or I must have used it in a different spot, which I'm notorious for doing that too. Here, this is the right one. No, that was actually the wrong one, and now you have an oddity that you made for yourself. Yep, I got 2 on the underside, and I still have like 1 left over, and I don't quite know where that was supposed to be. That's alright. Figure it out. If not, it'll show itself at the worst possible time, and then I will know, oh yes, this is the one that I forgot. Yeah. My guess is I probably just put one in the spot, in the wrong spot, and that's it. Yeah. And I might be counting an extra screw that I already have accounted for, or that I put something else in replace of it. Another reason why you should be a clean mechanic is so that you don't have to concern yourself with, did I put all the parts back, you know? I don't like losing parts, I really don't. Alright. Oh, there's one that's not there too. That's always fun. Here, let's find a missing screw all of a sudden. Well, now I put in 1 more than I started off with. Did I do all of them? I think so. This is one of those things that you're going to be able to tell if you missed it, or unless it's like one of those screws that's like non-tearative. Yeah. I got all my screws in there. It's alright. I got 2 extra ones. Yeah, it makes me wonder where I might have missed them. Ah, that would be where? In the back. That would be the 2 that I just tossed in here. Yep. Silly. Silly, silly. I may not even be able to get them in there because of where they are. lucked out. Okay. All right, success. I now have a working 12S XRT. Again. All right. Yeah, you guys probably don't need to see me wind this thing up. You guys have seen me wind up my truck before. So if you haven't, yeah, just go check my videos. Just punch in XRT and you'll get something with it. You might have to fast forward through a couple of things, but yeah, this thing's fast. Minimum this thing does 55 at my last known recorded top speed for it. So yeah, this is a 55-mile-an-hour truck. Probably 60. I might be able to pull a little bit more out of it when I say 60, you know, because there's that that motor timing you can play with and get a little bit more out of it, but I don't know. I haven't done any of that with it, and I probably need to change my gearing just a little bit. I think I have like a 30-20 right now, and I should be able to do a 20-25, maybe even a 25-25. I don't know. I have to measure it out, but I don't even remember what I got in there right now. I would have to look at my other spare ones, because I got spares just in case, you know. But anyways, that's it for this. It's part 2. Thanks for swinging in. We'll see you on the next one.